G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the 40th anniversary G1 reissue of Bombshell and Ramhorn. Now, I admit I was going to do these guys separately. I thought, you know what? Some people who watch this channel might just be interested in Bombshell and the Insecticons, and the other lot might be only interested in Ramhorn and the blaster cassettes. I thought, you know what? That's not fair on the people who are going out to buy both of them, that they should have to watch two videos. So technically, this will be two reviews together because they're obviously the same packaging. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. But we will start with Bombshell, because I will say he's a bit more of a main attraction than Ramhorn, at least for now. But at least we have now, excuse me, but at least for now we have technically finished our Insecticons. Unless Takara or Hasbro decides to re-release the Deluxe Insecticons, which I'm blanking on the names. I never had any of them. Was it Barricade, Venom, Barrage? I said not Barricade. Barrage, Venom, Chop Shop. I think there was another one, but I can't think of his name. I'm sure there was 4 of them. Anyway, so here is Bombshell. He's not in colored toy accurate. He is animation accurate. If he was toy accurate, we'd have see-through pieces on the yellow, and we'd be having purple instead of the grey. So, but he does look rather nice. He might look a little bit weird from the top of his head because of the way I have his antenna. Yeah, I will say this silver that they're using to replace the chrome really is growing on me, honestly. It does look pretty damn good, and it is, pretty simple, even with a bit of white on the bottom there. So we'll put that off to the side for the moment and take a closer look. Now he's not bad when it comes to articulation. He's got surprising amount, all things considered, but there is, of course, the odd little hindrance. There is die cast. You have it here. I think his legs and maybe his hip is die cast. I think also the grey on his chest is die cast. This is all plastic. That's plastic. That's plastic. His head's plastic. Now, if you're wondering why I've got this angled this way, I've always had a thing for the cartoon look, and his little sort of dome bit always sort of sat over the top of his head. So that's why I have it like that. But, you can angle it how you want. You can bring it considerably far back if you want that, but that just looks a bit silly to me. So I'll bring it up a little bit. Also, those eyes look really nice. Nice and red, if I can get it focused again. Come on. You're not that far away from my camera. There we go. So yeah, the eyes do look rather nice there. Now he does come with accessories. We had, you did see the gun, but this was, I want to say it was a Diaclone. Even though I always have a feeling that the Insecticons should have been micro change because they transform into bugs, but I don't know. Maybe let me know in the comments. I'm pretty maybe the original bad guys for Diaclone were meant to be bugs, but I've never really looked so much into Diaclone. But you can open this up, which would be where your cockpit is, and he does, of course, come with 6 more Energon cubes. You can put that in there. You could probably fit a second one in there, but I'm not game because I don't feel like getting it stuck. And you can just close that back up again. So let's get down to articulation. I was going to say transformation. I'm like, we haven't done articulation yet. So as I said, you can bring this back pretty far. This antenna bit can go backwards and forwards. I'm not worried it's going to break, but I am worried that pin's going to get loose over time. His arms, I'm a little iffy. So it's supposed to feed, it feels like you can do a 360, but you get to that point and it doesn't want to go any further, and I'm not sure what's rubbing against what. It could be the inside of this shoulder here is rubbing onto here somewhere, because even if you go the other way, you're getting stuck down here. You could probably force it, but I'd rather not break it by accident. So while it can do a full 360, don't push your luck. Arm goes back that far, but that's for transformation. Obviously doesn't go out. That's not a ball joint in there or anything. So there's no up, there's no rotation at the bicep, there's no elbow bend, there's no fingers, no thumb, no wrist. He doesn't have a waist swivel, because I'm pretty sure this is all somehow connected together. So you're not going to get anywhere with that. He does have leg that gets you that far. Can I get further? Not that far. Because I think, once again, you have this little piece of metal here, which is hitting here. So it's not going any further. Legs can actually go further back. Obviously can't go out. I will say, at least if this starts getting loose, there is a screw there, so you can always tighten that up. And I know this looks weird. I haven't gone over this, but it seems like you need to rotate his pelvis. But like I said, there's no rotation. You are supposed to have gaps in the front here, and you have a cleaner backside, which is weird. Which does give you a knee bend there, but it's more the transformation joint that gets further than that. But I'm not going to go there, because then I'm just transforming it. So there's no ankle tilt, no toes or anything, even though that does look like it should fold down a little bit. But at least it does kind of have heels, which does help a little bit with the balance, but it's not too bad, honestly. It's a G1 figure. I'm amazed any of it works the way it does. Now, it really makes me wonder, what would Transformers nowadays look like if what we get now, in whether it's mainline or third party, if that was back in the 80s? What would Transformers actually look like now? All right, so let's get down to transformation. So you will bend his knees and fold them over here. Now, for some reason, this one doesn't go as further down. I'm not quite sure where it's rubbing. So if I push on that, it just bounces back. So I'm not quite sure why that is. Just weird. I don't know if that was a thing from the 80s or not. I don't know. Then you fold these back. There's no tabs for any of this. So if he doesn't sit flat, you sort of have to fiddle with arms and such until it's flat how you want it. This folds up to cover his face, and then we can angle that up. You can, of course, angle it down, but that just makes him lift up a bit. But I suppose you can somehow fiddle with things so that happens. So there we go. So there is Bombshell in his Stag Beetle mode. I want to say it's a Stag Beetle. I don't know why my camera's looking a bit weird, considering I just cleaned it before I did this to start the review. He does roll as apparently bugs should. Sure, why not? Also, am I the only one who used to think that this was his eye in the cartoon? That this was his eye, not up here somewhere, but that was it there. I always felt that way. So, yeah. He does roll. Like I said, you do have the articulation in the arms if you want, and you have the articulation here if you want to use that. Obviously, there's no weapon storage. Have we had anything with weapon storage yet? The mini bots, no. Blast, no. Soundwave did, and I missed it. My neighbor has a car now, so now he makes even more noises. Anyway, so yeah, you can do all, not too bad things. You can articulate a little bit, but you're starting to untransform the shoulders, and you can use that how you want. I suppose if you want, you can have it further down here. Down here, I would just have mine sitting up like so. So there we go. So let's do a size comparison. Bring the camera up a little bit. So here he is with Windblade. So give or take, probably that is half as long as she is. And I have to laugh because I tidied my side table up, and now it's currently just full of figures for this review. Here he is with Shrapnel. here he is with kickback. So pretty decent size. And I will do this just because that way you can get a comparison. I'll do it both times. There he is with Ramhorn. So yes, Ramhorn and hens are pretty decent size together, honestly. So there we go. Alright, let's get him transformed back again. So like I said, very simple. You fold these down. Mine is attempting to move his knees, his hips when I do it. So that is that. Fold these out. You can bring that back as little or as much as you want. And I fold that down. And Bombshell's back where he was. So then we can give him his gun. So he does look really, really nice. I will say, now it could be just my nostalgia. Who was it? I want to say a friend of mine had shrapnel. But it is really nice to have all the Insecticons, at least the standard Insecticons, and I'm still looking forward to eventually getting to Masterpieces. I really hope that Fans Toys does a 2.0, because I don't think there's any chance in hell I'm getting version 1 at all. I know they reissued it last year. I lost out, honestly. Alright, let's do final size comparisons. Of course, we have to do a proper size comparison here. So we'll put Bombshell here, and we'll bring in Kickback and Shrapnel. So he is legitimately the taller of the three. And I think I thought of it and I didn't bring it up this time. Well, I am now, sort of. Shrapnel's the only one with a waist swivel. Kickback doesn't have one because you turn his head around. And Bombshell seems to feel like he needs one for his legs, but he don't have one either. So, but there they are. They look so good together, even though I have mine on displayed as the insects. As far as I'm concerned, they still look pretty damn good. So there's those two. Of course, we'll bring back in Ramhorn. So, just like the title screen. And last but not least, here he is with MP10. And if you go from the top of his head, he's about just up into the top of Prime's knee. If you go from the way I have his antenna angled, it's just above the bottom of his crotch. So there we go. Right, let's put him aside, and now we get on to Ramhorn. Now, something I want to ask everyone, and I almost said it in the start of the review, but I'm going to say it now because this is more appropriate. Who do you think we are going to get eject, rewind, frenzy, and rumble with? Also, I have seen the pictures of SS 86 Perceptor, and I'm so not buying him just for a Rat Bat. I still have not got a Rat Bat. I've thought about getting a fourth party one. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, so here is Ramhorn, and initially I was going to say you do have to fiddle with his legs to get him to stand flat, but I find actually having his front legs extended actually helps with his balance, because if you look there, his front legs are longer than his back. But yeah, at least with the rhino head drops just enough that it does work. And of course, I think rhino tails are supposed to be down there, but I prefer mine out, just sticking out a little bit. So there we go. But he does look pretty good. He is, how do I put this? The Autobot Beast cassettes aren't really, they don't really stand out. They're pretty bland looking in cassette mode. Admittedly, Ravage could be the same thing. I don't have enough experience with Rat Bat. Laserbeak and Buzzsaw are completely different. But I don't care. He's a sweet looking rhino that I will not lie. I always keep getting his name, and I'm already forgetting his name instead. I want to say Hardhead. It's not Hardhead. It's one of the Predacons. It's not Tantrum. Because I keep thinking Ramhorn is the Predacon Rhino. Headstrong. I always use his name instead of Headstrong, and I don't know why. Well, it's probably because Ramhorn sounds more appropriate. But yeah, him and Headstrong are always turned into Ramhorn. So we do have, obviously, gaps and stuff, which G1, nothing to complain about at this point. Obviously, the missiles are parts forming. Once again, can't do much when it's G1. This gave us the blueprints of what we have nowadays. So if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have what I will bring in later. So let's do some articulation. Head can go that far back, which is transformation. Once again, tail can go all the way in and down. So there's that. I will take... we'll take the missiles off because I'm going to have to get down to transformation after the articulation anyway. But I will say something I didn't think of with Steeljaw, and I did it later and found it doesn't quite work. You can actually move his missiles further up, which honestly does look pretty damn good. I reckon that looks amazing, actually having the missiles at the front. It gives me Dino Rider vibes or something. I hope they make third-party Dino Riders. I want Dino Riders. Alright, so there he is. Alright, so legs can go that far back and come in that far. You have technically below the knees. Oh, maybe the top. Yeah, the top two. So they can be separated. You have a pin here, a pin here. So leg goes back that far, goes in that far, which then the foot ends up getting into its little spot. You can rotate the foot that way, that far, and bring it in that far, so a little bit. Of course, you can have those individually articulated, which is a surprise at the time, but balance goes all the way out the window. Same with the front. They go that far forward, that far back. This groove basically giving you a line of where you want to put your feet. Once again, they are separable with two pins. So you can get that far back with the knee, that far forward with, and toes, which do hurt a little bit on the finger to try and move. I think that's about as far as I can get back, and about that far forward. Alright, let's get down to transformation. We've already basically done part of it. Also, you get these details in the belly that do show up when you take the missile launchers off, because honestly, if you put them there, yes, it's still there, but your eye doesn't connect to it. So there we go. So transformation, we fold the tail over, we fold the head over. Might as well do the front legs first. So we're going to slide these up, and you're just going to basically keep mostly this straight, and that's going to sort of just sit into the groove. You will have this feeling that you need to push it up. Over here, you don't need to. Just flatten it out to the best of your feelings. Now we bring these back a little bit. We bring these forward, slide them up, so they're going to form into the groove there. And fold that in, they'll press against that, and there is Ramhorn in his cassette mode. I don't know if I ever said it with the Blaster review and the Steeljaw review. They missed a thing of actually giving these guys cassette cases. So yes, we get blast effects. Yes, we get, not blasters. We get blasters for him. We get a laser for Bombshell, and Bombshell comes with 6 Energon cubes. He should have come with a cassette cover. So there we go. All right, let's get down to size comparisons. Here he is. I'll lift the camera up a little bit. Here he is with Windblade. So, yeah. Almost technically still half her size. Here he is with Steeljaw. That came with Blaster. Here he is with Bombshell. So he's about the height of Bombshell's torso to head, give or take. And here he is with G1 Reissue Blaster. Now, I've tried this. Hopefully it doesn't go as badly as before. I tried this. The eject works, but trying to get him out, and I think it could be his feet that does it. It sort of does have a bit of a lock, sort of locks it in, so it will go back in there. I wouldn't trust putting another one in there, but it actually came out easier this time. Last time I had to try and actually get that out. So there is Blaster, so he can go in there. So there we go. Right, let's get this guy transformed back again. So all we're going to do is bring out his feet, and we'll straighten them as much as possible. Do the same with his front, and that's just going to push all the way back till that lines up, and then you play fiddly to see if you can get it to balance. Bring his tail back, bring his head forward. It will sort of just slide into that gap. And then, of course, you can bring in your weapons, and I will just use the standard orientation. Oh, by the way, I do have, like I said, I do have steel jaw here. They just fall out. The pegs on steel jaw are smaller. So there we go. He's all armored up. Surprisingly standing up pretty well. So there he is, back in his robot mode. Alright, size comparison. So here he is with the real reason to have this guy. And I will pull this back a bit, but there is Blaster, and if I can get him to stand, which ironically knocks over Ramhorn, there he is. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll just bring my camera back, so this might get a little wonky. Camera back, and we'll lift it a bit. So there is Blaster and Steel Jaw with Ramhorn, and I thought about trying Ramhorn's guns in Steel Jaw just to show. Considering how tight Steel Jaw's guns or wings are to put into him, there is no way in hell that Ramhorn's will fit. So yeah, that's not quite happening. So there's those two. So I'm still waiting for an eject and rewind. I still want to know who we're going to give with those, or maybe we'll get a 2-pack that's just those two mini bots. So I guess we'll wait and see. Here he is with Bombshell again, like we showed before. But I'm going to do it again because it just would feel bizarre without it. So there we go. Here he is with MP10. And he's halfway up his shin, give or take. So there we go. And I won't lie, I've been looking forward to this next size comparison. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here he is with Fans Toys Acoustic. Is it acoustic? No, not acoustic. Amplifier. Fans Toys is unicorn. That still gets me. So that's Fans Toys Ramhorn with, of course, Takara's. So actually not too far off size, honestly. But I will say, as nice as the Fans Toys is, I think the G1 looks better. Yes, there's not as much transformation, but all the G1 needs is a couple of pieces to spread those shoulders out. And I really think that, because I know that the weapons on the Fans Toys are part of the transformation, I would have been happier if they were just accessories. Honestly, in hindsight. So, there we go. So that is your 40th anniversary Bombshell and Ramhorn. I think that turned out pretty good. I did make individual videos. I actually had them ready to be posted. And this is literally the day before they would have been released. So it's midnight into Monday. I release my Transformer reviews, obviously, midnight into Tuesday. I've had the individual videos up for a week, ready to be posted, just in case something happened. And, as I always say, I give 2 weeks between reviews. And in looking at them, I'm like, it's not really fair to have a set of two that you buy together having reviews 2 weeks apart, especially if someone is going into buying them thinking, well, I don't want Bombshell, I just want Ramhorn, or I don't want Ramhorn, I want Bombshell. But is it worth getting the other character just because, even though I'm not a huge fan of them or whatnot? Honestly, they're both great. They're nostalgia bait to the limit. So I would highly recommend it. So far, there's been no G1 reissues that I am any level disappointed with. I think at one point I did say that I missed the Chrome. Right now, the Chrome can stay where it is. So there we go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment, because I do check my analytics, and I notice a lot of you who watch are not subscribed, so make sure you do. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.